pretty that looks. So now we're going to have to do a scenario about those.
Maybe. At some point, we're not giving spoilers away.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We're not giving spoilers.
Okay. We're going to call that a check. Hey, there's a Nay on here. There's a DWLO. There's a Jim Stute not on here.
He popped in and popped out.
Popped in, popped out. That's how the old Stute used to do it in the old neighborhood.
Okay. He did get the #1 slot, though.
Well, you do that when you post it like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Hey.
What?
He posted it at 12 p.m. It was
Carl Floyd. Jason Patrick 17. Thank you so much for coming on here. Hello. David from Kyushu. David from Kyushu. I'm chopping through my list of stuff, and I think you're about to get to the top of the list. So I apologize for not following up with you sooner, but I think. Hello in Denmark, sir. Ordered the game. Came back when there was no VAT custom wall for the game. Back when there was no VAT custom wall. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Just got back from Tokyo. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, did you go to the museum? Did you go to the Sumo Museum of Hall of Faminess? Neil Morgan on here. So I'm probably going to need some more pictures from you. I think if I went back through the files, you can go ahead and switch to 1 if you want. I think if I went back through the file, what?
I got sumo gifts.
What?
I got you sumo gifts.
To the sumo. Oh boy. Well, we're excited. We got this big lull as we wait for the next tournament.
I know, it's been a little rough.
Can I show some pretties? We're going to go officially live at a little less than 2 minutos. This is our
You shouldn't be showing the pretties.
Our pre-video. Are we going to show these again once we go live?
Do you think you're not gonna?
There's those there. And then there's... Well, I think this is a treat for the folks that get on here early,
okay,
like Manny Marinos. And so does that look a lot nicer? Can you scroll up so you can see that? It's not... See that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Isn't that nice? So did some work on our focus problem that we were having. So I think it is set to auto now, so it will kind of bounce around a little bit. But it ought to be pretty quick, and it's bouncing around. And then I got these over here. Got one of these lovelies. All I got is a new red herring for the year 2026. Look at this lovely. Everybody loves to see a dead fish.
Sure.
Floating upside down. We did one other. I don't remember what year it was, but we had another red herring that was upside down. That was that. So for our printed stuff, we're doing pretty good. I do want to show this too, but we're still not even officially 8 o'clock yet. Mm-hmm. Oh well, let's not do that yet. So, what are the chances that Ao's going to get his Yokozuna? What's the chances? What do you think?
Probably low.
Really? If he could win this next one, I mean, I think that's a big if, but.
I mean, I think he's capable, but it's definitely.
It would be pretty impressive. He's had a really impressive run so far.
How do we get the new 26 red herring? Nay wants to know.
Oh, we just throw them in packages. Like this, kind of like this. Usually from across the room. And if it goes in the package, usually when I'm doing packages or something, I'll have the boxes over there.
It's 8 o'clock.
And then I'll sit on the other side of the room and I'll just like fling the cards like this.
Signed or
unsigned. And if they happen to fall into the boxes, then you get one. if you order something at any time recently, I still have some of the old 2025 or 2024.
I guess if you want it signed, you could put that in notes.
Yeah, put it in the order notes, which I don't even know how that works on the new ones. But if you wanted it signed, and also if you specifically wanted one of the 2026, because right now they're at the back of the stack, so I still have, I don't know, a dozen or so of the old 2024s, because I got them, so we're gonna give them away. Something I think bit my leg. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Something itching. But
hey, it's 8:00.
Hey everybody, this is Dave here at Pulp Alley, and I am with the world's most dangerous Bessy. Ba-bam, on the main stage. So we're going to talk about some fun stuff tonight. Boys and girls, if you have not signed up for the wonderful Scenario of the Month series, you order. You get a brand new scenario every month, just about throughout the year. It is 12 scenarios. Regardless of when you sign up for it, you're going to get all 12 scenarios for 2026. February's just around the door. Sunday. So she needs to get that one finished up. So Bessy, if for those of you who don't know, has taken the lead on working on the Arkham Alley cards. Are looking interesting. Yes, they are getting me very excited. So Bessy's taken the lead on these, definitely for these first two scenarios, and we do a lot of brainstorming back and forth. But she's kind of putting the meat and taters together, and then I kind of go in and put my name on it. And then, but she does all the hard work, all the heavy lifting. And we're not going to reveal what the next time traveling. It is a time traveling scenario, and you're intended to play, a league or a couple leagues as you go through it. So far, all of the scenarios,
all one,
both of the scenarios are intended to be played co-op versus or. No, number 2 is not co-op, is it?
Number 2 is not co-op.
Number 2 is not co-op. Unless you wanted, it is really designed for 2 leagues. And I think even the first one was designed for 2 leagues. Did we say it was for 4 leagues? I think you could have played it with 4 leagues.
You could have.
Yeah.
But
I think this one, scenario 2, is definitely kind of geared towards 2 leagues. Anyway. I don't want to spill too much about it because it'll be a fun little surprise when you get it.
Plus, it might change.
It is. That is true.
We still have 3 days.
We still have 3 days. It's a time traveling campaign played in an episodic format where you will get a brand new scenario every
Quantum
month.
Leap.
Time Tunnel.
Scott Bakula.
What was that? Oh, Quantum Leap. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we are doing a lot of prep for the Kickstarter. We have the spell book is done. And for those of you that have not seen the brand new spell book, it is going to be printed in the UK by the lovely folks over there at the Sally Forth. And he will be printing cards and books and miniatures and whatnot over there. But it's important to note that there will be slight differences, right? Because we're going to print things here and he's going to print things there. So that doesn't mean everything's going to be exactly the same. And certainly for those of you in the U.S., the color version of the book is hypnotizing. The color version is hypnotizing. Now, Chris looked around to find a hypno cover in the UK, but could not find one that his printer would be able to do. So it is going to have a beautiful, fancy cover. It is going to be color on the inside, but I don't think he'll have.
Do you think we could have him send us one, and we could send him one of those?
So we have the full collection. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta have the full collection. And then we also have the Associates Arcanum, and we've shown these to you before, which is some fun little associate type characters. We got the we got uh, uh, got that one. We got the raven. We got the owl. Now on the backs of these, we left these blank so you can pick whatever associate abilities that you want. But it's fun to have. For a little one slot bonus that you could put into your league, it's nice to have some extra little something something in there. And then we're also working on this lovely thing here. This will also be part of the Kickstarter, and this is experienced versions. What is it, baby?
I just felt okay. That's better.
Let me open it up a little bit more. Experienced versions of some of our classic Pulp Alley characters. So it gives you a quick little blurb here about experienced characters, and then it has like an experienced Sharnock and Dahlia, experienced Summer and Galgo and Raven, experienced Ramjeet. And on all of these, when we added an extra ability to each one of them, we gave them a spell caster ability. So this version of Rami is just like the existing version, except it's the experienced version, which means it has one extra ability. And on the back, it tells you what his spell is. Now, he has the innate talent ability, so that does not affect his combat skills, and it only gives him one spell. Now, remember, if you take the spell craft ability, which is here, that gives you a number of spells equal to your level, which would be 4 for Red Queen. So she's got a bucket of spells. But remember, that also can impact your combat skills, your brawling and your shooting. Doesn't always, and there are ways around that, but so really cool experienced versions of our existing characters. And then we're also working on, and I just finished up 3 new packs, 2 of them of new spellcasters, so not experienced spellcasters, but taking some of the figures out of Bob Murch's Pulp Figures range and turning them into spellcasters from scratch. So if you wanted to just throw a new spellcaster into your league, that's an easy way to do it if you don't want to take the time to create one yourself, which you could certainly do. So those will be going off to get proofs printed within the next couple days. So they're called Arkham Alley. So there's Arkham Alley, and that's going to be expanded on, and we're gonna continue expanding on Arkham Alley as we go along. But for now, we're just releasing a few of the card packs. So we have Arkham Alley 1, which has there'll be more about it. 15 different character cards, and they are all spellcasters. They either have the full-blown spell craft ability, or they have the innate talent ability, which only means they'll have one spell, but they're all built to be spellcasters. Character Pack 2 also, and we're using some of the old miniatures out of the Pulp Figures line from their Cthulhu 28s range. So, for example, I think Arkham Alley Pack number 2 specifically focuses on the Arkham Investigators Pack 2, 3, and 4. So those are the investigators. That's 5 minis per pack. That's 15 for a pack of 15 characters. And there's leaders in there, there's sidekicks, and there's allies. And in pack number 1, there's even a gang.
Ooh,
a gang of acolytes. So you could even have a spellcasting gang out there. And then Arkham Alley pack number 3 focuses on deep ones. And if you saw the thumbnail for when I say focuses on them, there might be something else in there as well. So it's deep ones with an extra little bonus. And again, it gives you a nice wide selection of characters. It gives you 2 leader level deep ones. I think it gives you something like 3, and I'll get these numbers wrong because again, it hasn't actually been printed. 3 level 3 characters, 6 level 2 deep ones, And then it even has some gangs to use as deep ones as well. And the super scary bonus, insanely difficult monster in there as well. Because it wouldn't be Arkham Alley if we didn't have something in there to absolutely rip your face off.
Especially when Dave makes it.
I was actually going to make it tougher. I was going to make it a little bit meaner.
But guess what?
I ran out of space on the card. I filled it.
That's how mean this
I had
is.
so much, and I was like, I want to give it some more stuff, and I'm like, oh no, there's not any room on the card. So that's where I was. Lots and lots of fun stuff coming up for the Kickstarter. And I don't know, I get in this trap where I insist that I don't want to move forward with the Kickstarter until I have at least 90% of everything figured out, because I hate Kickstarters that don't have their act together and you're not really sure what the hell they're doing. So when you do our Kickstarter, you're going to know what we have, because most of it has already been printed as far as the proofs. I don't sell you something until I know it's good enough to sell you something. So we'll have the new spell book. We'll have the new spell deck. We'll have the experienced casters. We'll have Arkham Alley Pack 1, 2, and 3. We will have the Arcane Associates pack. We'll definitely have a pack of magic items, arcane relics. Now, some of those come in the spell deck as well. I think there are 9 in the spell deck, but now an extra pack of 15 more arcane relics to throw in there as well. and then the Hana sisters too. We're gonna have a pack of figures in there to get as well. I'm really excited about the Hana sisters. So David Kayusha, if you're still on here, I probably need some better images of the 3D prints, so I can send those to Ollie and get some artwork mocked up for those character cards. So, and then I'll get in contact with you. I apologize for not keeping in better contact with you, brother. I get such tunnel vision when I'm working on a project that like it is the only thing in my head, and I just zero in, and I don't. It's very hard.
Peripherals don't work.
Yeah, I like have my blinders on, and I'm just like zeroed in on one thing. Right now, it's magic items. So I'm loving these magic items. I'm having a lot of fun. I had a fairly good list of magic items, but boys and girls, this is the time to say, hey, what about this one? So for those of you that would like to contribute and say, hey, how about a magic item that does this? Now, be careful about what you wish for. I think really early on when we were talking about doing spells, like, people throw out ideas. Well, I want a spell that turns my opponent into a chicken. Okay, well, that's cool, but it doesn't really work all that well in a game. And to be honest with you, I actually worked quite a while on trying to figure out rules for how to turn a character into a chicken without actually breaking the game.
That's what happens when I leave them alone.
Yeah. And then I'm like,
but it's a chicken!
I need to be able to turn somebody into a chicken. And it didn't have to be a chicken. You could turn them into a squirrel or a frog or something silly like that. But I was like, man, not for the basic spells. I'm not gonna put it in there.
What kind of game are we playing on Sunday?
It's a solo game. Solo Sunday, boys and girls. Solo Sunday. We have a fairly decent number of solo players. I really do appreciate that. I think Hello.
Stop.
Hi, how are you doing today? How are you? Is your nose running?
Yes, her nose is running. I guess I'm going to go take her back.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. I'm probably going to not come back.
Okay. We're probably going to call it here pretty quick. Jason Patrick, X-ray glasses. So, big thank you to Damian Larson for sending me, painting up these lovely figures for us. We have some mounted fellers here. We have some foot fellers over here. Really excited about these. don't forget, if you do place an order that is going to have a box coming at you, be sure to request the new red herring, because otherwise I usually just pull a card from the front of the stack, and that'll just still be the older red herrings if it's something that you'd like to get. If you don't have the 20, and I'll show you what the most recent red herring before that one looked like, because I do still have, I don't know, I'd have to say maybe a dozen or so. Yeah, I'd say there's still about a dozen. I don't know. Um, so this was the 2025 red herring here, which was another really cool one I liked. So that was the 2025 red herring. So if you don't have that in your collection, you definitely want to make sure you get the 2025 red herring. So that was far more colorful. And for 2026, we went with the upside down dead red herring. And look at the lovely quote on there. Nice try, but this red herring's going nowhere. So that was probably one of the funnest parts of designing the Arkham Alley character cards, was the fun little quotes that I could put on them. Manny Marino has been doing just a bang up job of helping us go through and double check everything, and editing and helping to make sure that, I don't screw things up too bad. Bessy's my first line of defense, but then Manny's there to double check everything for us. You need a card for Minerva's caboose. Thank you for the suggestion, sure. I'm sure it does need its own separate card. Maybe we could give it a sidekick level. Maybe Minerva's caboose could be a sidekick that. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Lots of fun stuff at the Kickstarter. I probably am reaching the point that I'm going to start working on the actual Kickstarter stuff. Distraction card, maybe an asset. So one of the fun things that was humorous to me is that when I was designing I think it was Arkham Alley Set 2, I put a character's name one of the characters that was named in there. And when I'm making up these characters, I'm creating stories in my head. And most of these stories never see the light of day, but I create them in my head, especially when I get to like their little flavor quotes, when I'm thinking about, what kind of character is this? Where do they come from? How would they talk, and things like that. And I saw one, and I gave her the same last name as a character that I used in the Vice Alley campaign. And I didn't tell anybody, I didn't even tell, Bessy about it. When Manny was reading through the cards, he immediately recognized that name and said, is she related to this character over here from Vice Alley? And it was like, yep, because I had like this whole story in my head. She's a debutante. She comes from a wealthy family. So she's related to the Bishop of King City. So there's a bit of a story there. Anywho, fun times. Do you guys do that? Do you guys make up stories, backstories for your characters that, never see the light of day? It's all these movies that are playing in my head. I do the same thing when I'm playing the stories in the movies. Sometimes people want there to be more story to the Pulp Alley scenarios. Like they want me to write more story rather than just providing a framework. And some of our scenarios are that way. But I like providing a framework, because then you can use that scenario in so many different settings, in so many different ways, much more so than if it was pigeoned into this is the story. It's intended for you to bring your story. And I have a lot of fun, because even if I sit down and start playing a scenario like Smash and Grab, scenario number 1 out of the basic rulebook, even if I sit down and start playing that scenario without any idea about what kind of story I'm actually doing, a story will form as I start playing through the scenario. and I start getting to the plot points, and then it'll be, this is this and this is that, and the story kind of pieces together. I'm a big fan of the old pulp magazines, the old serials. So that's really the basis of how Pulp Alley is supposed to be played. I remember a player early on really talking about, and I don't think he meant it as a compliment. I think that he was saying that Pulp Alley is really just a race. You're trying to get things before the other guy does, and you have to race through the game. And that is 100% correct, because that's how the old pulp stories were written. That's how those old serials were written. Those weren't, unless you're talking about maybe like the H.P. Lovecraft stories, that's different. But when you're talking about, action adventure stories like the Spider or the Captain Marvel serials and things like that, it is high energy, high excitement, and it is go, go, go. Once you get to the scenario, the meat and taters of the plot, it is all about, you've got to do this before the dam explodes. You've got to shut off. You've got to rescue the hostage before the building collapses. Right? That's the scenarios. That's why Pulp Alley is designed that way. We are entrenched in the pulp ethos. And that's it for tonight, boys and girls. Join us on Sunday for a live game, and I'll have to say, play us out of here, Dave. See you next time. Bye, everybody. Share some backstories with me for some of your characters. Go over to the Pulp Alley Players Group and share some cool stories. We'll catch y'all next time. Bye, everybody. Be sure to join us on Sunday. Get subscribed. Hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, get subscribed.